On Metro now. This one is, most of the stories are Times has broken this story, I think, but we're going to take it from the Metro about Azeem Rafiq, a bit of a twist. Who wants to do this one? Yes,
this is extraordinary and very... it's very embarrassing, isn't it?
It is embarrassing.
Azeem Rafiq. And it just goes to, well, let's be clear. He, just days after his very moving and distressing statement about racism that he'd experienced in Yorkshire cricket, boring sport.
Ruined his career as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Traumatised, you know, shaped his entire
That was yesterday's story. What's the story today?
Well, a couple of days later, he's having to apologise for anti-Semitic messages. The former spin bowler had received widespread praise, and then it was all turned round. He was in... This conversation goes back to 2011, when he was texting offensive slurs against the Jewish community, which went... I mean, they're really moronic texts.
Yeah, you don't have to read it out. But this is the same period, 2011, this is the same time as the slurs to which he was subject that he was complaining about,
well,
right?
No, that happened over... that happened over... I mean, he left Yorkshire and then he came back and he was getting it again. So that happened over years and years.
OK.
And one, by the way, does not lessen the abuse that he took. The Jewish community, from what I read, generally feels that the apology, OK, you know what, you've apologised and we appreciate that. In the same way that certain of the cricketers, Matthew Hoggard, texted Rafiq to say, I'm really sorry, I didn't realise, and Rafiq accepted it. I think we should accept apologies, but it is a bit embarrassing.
Can I push it a bit further than embarrassing? Can I just posit, as say devil's advocate, because I know what you mean, a 19-year-old kid, and I'm not inclined to drag him through the mud, except he was presenting himself as somebody who was a little bit kind of bruised and beaten up by this almost alien culture of racist banter and so on. And it turns out that actually he seems to be a fairly willing... I mean, maybe he was just somebody who was desperately trying to be liked within that kind of... But it doesn't come across that way, I've got to say.
I mean, human beings are imperfect. I mean, it's inexcusable behaviour. But we all know that it's very possible that people who have experienced homophobic abuse could be racist, have said racist things. I know that I've had a lot of homophobic abuse from black men in my life, and I have always pointed out at the time I've had two very bad physical attacks on the street, both by black men. I mean, the most abuse I would have had as a gay person would have been from white Scottish people, because that would have explained school, OK? But, I mean, I've explained in the past to black people who have homophobically abused me that should we not all be on the same side?
And gang up on someone else.
Well, you know, black people can be homophobic, gay people can be racist. I mean,
we are imperfect.
It's absolutely all correct. What I mean is that would all be fine, of course, and one would understand it if he hadn't just, like, kind of dominated yesterday's news.
I actually
don't think human resources
I don't think it matters, actually. I think that there was 10 years of pretty awful abuse.
It's more indicative of the times we live in.